Hello, friends. As usual, I welcome and thank you for giving me your time here on Urugano TV, the channel with reliable news about a country of 1,000 years. What you need to do is keep visiting our channel by subscribing and don't forget to like and share our videos with others on social media that they can be updated as you are. In a panic over American reports on Rutabana disappearance, CMI head Kandiho commissions of a Chimpreports article that ends up incriminating him with the hot topic. In an attempt to absolve Uganda Chieftaincy of Military Intelligence known as CMI of responsibility for the disappearance of Rwanda National Congress's Benjamin Rutabana, Kampala-based propaganda website Chimpreports has this Thursday published an article with more distortions of falsehood about Rwanda than usual. As anyone familiar with Chimpreports will see, the first laughable thing is about the article titled Investigation Inside the Rwandan Dissident Ben Rutabana's Disappearance. It is on a website owned and founded by CMI itself. Chimpreports chief editor Giles Muhame works under the control of CMI Deputy Director in Charge of Counterterrorism Brig. CK Asiimwe. Basically, when Chimpreports claims CMI is not behind disappearance of Rutabana, it is CMI absolving itself of a blame. What would one expect? The article has come out specifically following independence report by an American organization, the International Relief and Human Rights Initiative, which pins the disappearance of Rutabana on CMI. The report, which was released on 25th this June and which has been circulating on the internet, representing many well-supported points that show it's CMI and no one else that knows what happened to Rutabana. According to knowledgeable sources, Major General Kandiho, the head of CMI, is in panic. And it is out that panic that he has instructed Chimpreports to publish an article with the aim of deflecting blame upon the others. As usual with the CMI, they turn to Rwanda as the main scapegoat. With the source of converted logic to be found only in Kampala's anti-Rwanda website and propaganda platforms, Chimpreports blames Rwanda for Rutabana's disappearance by quoting Kayumba Nyamwasa's RNC. RNC says Kigali's intelligence used Congolese rebel Sultan Makenga to roll Rutabana into DRC, where he was arrested together with his entire force. That was what Nyamwasa was saying. They were quoting him. But leave alone the charges ploy of asking a terrorist organization bent on violently destabilizing Rwanda to say something to incriminate Rwanda. It is even more risible when one knows that, in fact, when CMI abducted the Rutabana, it was working with the agents of RNC. So now CMI is ganging up its cross-partner RNC to manufacture stories to publish in Chimpreports, a CMI publication. That's what our source was saying, bursting into laughter. It becomes even more childish when one gets to know more about the other angle to their lie that Rwanda used Sultan Makenga to lure Rutabana to DRC. How would Rwanda use Sultan Makenga if the man isn't in Rwanda but in Uganda? Would one ask? When Makenga fled Congo in late 2013, he went to Uganda with his 200 men via Mahinga National Park. That is a matter of record that one will find even on Wikipedia. Also in early 2017, with backing of Kampala, Makenga tried to start a guerrilla war in DRC but failed. After that, CMI even hired some of Makenga's militias to crush Ugandans protesting the Museveni regime. to see Ugandan propagandists are trying to blame Rutabana's disappearance on Makenga with the lie that Rwanda used the Congolese is a clear sign that Kandiho is also panicked by the American report and the accuracy of the report that he can't think logically. As if to confirm this assessment, Chimpreports then writes, it is yet to be established if at this point anyone knew if Rutabana or Nyirigira were knowingly being run by Kigali intelligence or not. A reader of these bizarre claims said, it won't be surprised if next Chimpreports writes that Kayumba Nyamwasa is working for Kigali. Nyirigira is the head of RNC Uganda province. How is he being run by Rwanda intelligence? Is it understandable, guys? That's why I used to say that you need to keep following us, knowing the truth behind things, that all these labels are trying to tarnish the good image of Rwanda, trying to cause riots and bring hatred to the people of Rwanda. That's why you need to follow us most of the times and get reliable and believable news about all this. The further truth gets exposed, the more fear it sows in CMI, said the knowledgeable sources. And there is a plenty in reports to give the boss of CMI, Uganda's most notorious security agents, often compared to Idi Amin's State Bureau by the elderly sleepless nights. Greg Smith-Evans, CEO and founder of President, says that they were able to establish that Mr. Rutabana, using passport number 16DA52086, left Brussels, Belgium on September 4th, 2019 on an Emirates flight and had a stopover at Dubai International Airport, United Arab Emirates, before proceeding and landing at Entebbe in Uganda on September 5th, 2019. He stayed in regular contact with his wife Diane Rutabana between September 5th and 18th, 2019, but never again since then. Evans continues, IRHRI learns that a few days after his arrival in Uganda, Mr. Rutabana was arrested and held at Chieftains of Military Intelligence, known as CMI offices in Mbuya. This is consistent with the words of Diane Rutabana, who, upon realizing that her husband had gone missing, penned a letter signed on 2nd October 2019 together with several family members that expressed the certainty Rutabana had been abducted in Uganda, and that linked with his disappearance to senior member of RNC, meaning Kayumba Nyamwasa, and the latter's brother-in-law, Frank Ntwari. As investigations have revealed, when Rutabana, who was RNC's Commissioner for Capacity Development, arrived at Entebbe, he was received by one Dr. Sam Ruvuma, who was together with some officials of the CMI. Ruvuma is a prominent RNC operative in Uganda, and it was his phone that Rutabana used to inform his wife he had arrived in Uganda. All the men left Entebbe together. They traveled together to Mbarara, where they linked up with other senior RNC officials such as Pastor Dewa Nyirigira and Major Mushambo, head of counterintelligence, UPDF 2nd Division, Mbarara. As the RNC officials were mixing with Ugandan intelligence operatives, they knew better the business they were up to. But when Rutabana disappeared, the motive slowly started to filter out. It was in the interest of Kayumba Nyamwasa and in the interest of family members of Kayumba Nyamwasa, specifically his brother-in-law Frank Ntwari, for Rutabana to disappear. And in ordering the abduction, Kandiho was acting in the interest of Nyamwasa, the main proxy of Kampala, in their mutual long-term plots to destabilize Rwanda's security. In radio interviews on BBC and VOA, Diane Rutabana mentioned Frank Ntwari, the RNC head of the Youth Commission, as someone that had been very threatening to her husband. Benny told me he had seriously problems with Ntwari and that he was worried about him, Diana told the BBC in an interview held on 7th October last year. Information from different sources converges on the fact there had been fire struggles within RNC pitting Nyamwasa's clique made up of him, his brother-in-law Ntwari, and the one son Dem Mugisha against Rutabana. For one thing, the latter had been questioning why Nyamwasa was turning RNC leadership into a family affair, and why he was centralizing decisions too much around himself, or why Nyamwasa put Ntwari and Sunday in charge of all RNC important operations. Yet these, in Rutabana's view, were male juniors. Rutabana, according to RNC internet forums, openly accused Nyamwasa of embezzlement and management of members' contributions. These accusations further confirmed suspicions with RNC circles that its leader was using the group's funds to invest them in his and his wife's business in Southern Africa and to fund a lavish personal lifestyle. RNC officials began to clamor for accountability, asking Nyamwasa and his clique ever more difficult questions. Issues that were bringing into question Kayumba's very leadership of RNC, a diaspora source told this website last year. The website I'm reading here, it is the one with full information that we sometimes base on while we are reporting or things like this. You can be 100% sure the enmity of Nyamwasa and his close clique for Rutabana became lethal at that point, added the source. From that point, if Rutabana stepped in Uganda, he was going to be in problems. But now, with the truth closing, Rutabana has become Kandiho's problem. The advice many are giving the CMI boss is, you have to produce Rutabana. Both Kandiho and Nyamwasa have to produce Rutabana. Relatives assert. Oh my goodness. This is somehow ingenious, but all these people, you are knowing that they are even not trusting themselves, they are quarreling, so we don't know how are they ready to come and do what they call to save Rwanda if they are unable to save themselves. So to close this, I can say this is the end of our topic, but always I keep thanking you for being with us, keep thanking you for keep on subscribing, for choosing us, for being with us most of the times, for sharing our videos, for liking them. Let me see you guys next time right here on Urugano TV. Thank you so much.